Welcome back, friends, to this exciting tutorial in which we're going to show you how Quigler automates your client updates. And this is where you're going to get your reward for the hard work that you've done. Here you are, you're in the transaction, you're doing everything right, and now what we want to make sure is that the consumer knows that. And we're going to help automate that for you. We're going to be your personal PR agent. We're going to be out constantly telling them that you are doing everything by the book and you're doing everything right. Remember, we're dealing with this problem. 67.5% of consumers say they do not trust us, and 72% of those under 44 say they don't trust us, and that is the key first-time home buyer market. And we want to make sure we've got it because it's 40% of the whole market, and we want to make sure that we can create clients for life out of it. We want to turn this problem into an opportunity for us to shine and beat out the competition. And remember, we are doing so with a very simple formula, which is, so this tutorial is about how we help automate that for you and save you tons of hours and time and act as your personal PR agent. To start, you're going to go to your transaction dashboard, with which you are now very familiar, and you're going to click on a new transaction. Up will pop this page. You've seen it before. Now on this page, it's very important. You need to click shared with the client. Now this is, you have to share it with the client because otherwise you don't have anybody you're talking to and you don't have anybody to demonstrate the trust that you're building. So you got to share it with a client if you want to get these sorts of automated updates and the all-important update letter, which we're going to show you in the next tutorial. Then you tell us whether it's a seller or a buyer transaction. You click on the client information, you fill it out, make sure you've put their name and their email because we're going to send them a notification from you. So, and that is the first notification they're getting, which is an email invitation to join you. And here's what it looks like, and it basically says that you've invited them to join in a transaction on Quigler. And then we give a little ad for you, and we say, hey, with this, you're going to get transaction transparency, you're going to get constant communication, and you're going to get unprecedented accountability from you. And then we just tell them to click here on the accept the invitation, and then we show them exactly what happens next so that they know there's no mystery, and that is that they're going to get a sign-in sheet like you've done, which is first name, last name, and email, and a password. And that is to be able to access the account that you've just set up for them. And then we tell them about the notification bell, and this is going to be one of the key ways in which they get notifications of what you've done. Okay, and that leads to the second client notification, which they're going to get an email every time you complete a step. When you log into your transaction dashboard on a particular transaction, if you see check marks on the steps, you know that you've completed everything there. If there are no check marks, then that means there's still actions to be done. That means that all of the actions that you were required to do now jump into the completed actions tab. So in this case, I'm on step 2 and it says that they have all been completed. Now, whenever you complete a step, the client gets a very simple, quick email notification. Hey, another step was done. Now, this is very simple. It's unobtrusive, but just think of the power of this little email. Someone is telling them that, gosh, another step is done. They're telling them that they are progressing along. They know progress is being done. They know that you're hard at work. They know what you're doing, and we've automated it for you. This is a very secure feeling on their part. They like this feeling. They want to know that you are making progress and that things are moving along. And that brings us to the third notification, and this time it's right in their transaction dashboard. And that's the completed tab and the notification bell. When you complete actions and they go into the completed tab, they can pick them up in one of two ways. They can click on the completed tab or they can click on their notification bell. Either place, doesn't matter which one, takes them to this, telling them that they have these notifications and we're prompting them to agree that you did them. Now they can open them up, they can see what you did, they can agree to each one individually, or they can do as we've prompted here, mark all of the actions in the transaction as completed. Or they can go into the step and they can mark that all the actions in the step are completed, or they can open up the individual action. Doesn't matter. The goal is the same. We want to get them to the agreed column. We want to move them from completed to where the consumer says they have agreed you do this, because this is crucial for the update letter that's coming. And that means this is the fourth notification, going into the Agree tab and seeing them done. And when they open up the Agree tab, they see this, which is that you did it and that they agreed you did it, time-stamped and dated. Now that brings us to the bomb, which is your automated update letter. We're going to save that for the next tutorial, but here's what we need to tell you now. You have already done it. It's all done for you. We're going to show you how to get it, put it on your stationery, and send it to them. Because you have gone through the process, you've taken them from incomplete to completed to agreed, everything is done for you. Because remember, this is the formula we're following. You're using a tool to give you process know-how, transparency, client updates, and accountability, all providing them to the client by you. And that leads to their trust, leads to business for life. If you need help, you know where to go. You just go out to the tutorial page and you click the Help tab. You have all these tutorials out to help get you there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Quigler. Can't wait to meet you again in the next tutorial. Quigler to provide the consumer with process know-how, transparency, client updates, all of which lead to accountability that lead to trust. And we know now that trust is the greatest biz gen tool in history. Nothing has ever been proven to generate more business than trust. Once you have clients' trust, you don't need Zillow, you don't need to be paying all kinds of other people to generate leads for you. You can go out and you can constantly have a stream of referral business coming from clients because they trust you. They tell their friends, they tell their parents, they tell their children to use you. You are the go-to person because you've got that bond of trust. And that's where we're trying to get you so that you can get business for life.